by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Live.
And welcome into Inside Arkansas Live here on this beautiful day here in the great state of Georgia as we are continuing our live coverage of SEC Football Media Days here at the College Football Hall of Fame. I'm your host, John Neighbors, alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, and appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon as we're going to have a loaded up show for you once again. We're going to get to your chats and all your questions, talk a little football going on, but also some Razorback basketball, maybe talk about that all-star game that got everybody up in arms last night too. Getting into that discussion. We'll, of course, have some few interviews today, like our guy Peter Burns of the SEC Network, Alyssa Lang of the SEC Network, and can't forget Connor O'Gara of Saturday Down South. So we'll have plenty of things to discuss. But, fellas, how are we feeling on this Wednesday here on Inside Arkansas Live?
Well, John, I think all the excitement is down there with you in Atlanta, but the anticipation in Fayetteville is through the roof, baby. I mean, we're 24 hours away from Sam Pittman and the boys taking the podium and getting talking season fully underway before we turn the page to camp. Everybody's getting excited down here. I can feel it. I'm speaking for the fan base when I say we can't wait for what tomorrow brings.
Absolutely. You know, what's funny, Curtis, is I'm buzzing today. Like, I'm in a very good mood for whatever reason. And I think it's because this time of year, when there's nothing going on, all it takes is like literally one inkling of something interesting to get you like kind of excited. Whereas during the season, it actually is kind of hard to get excited because you're like stressed the whole time. Yeah, you know your fandom is at stake. You know everything's, going on. This time of year, all it takes is just random news. But the things I'm excited about, honestly, I kind of forgot that tomorrow we're hearing from Sam Pittman. We got cool things going on with the Arkansas baseball team, which are just firing me up. I'm seeing kids come into LSU and being excited about it because of what I think it means for the Razorbacks. But this time of year, that's just all it takes to get me excited, and it's accomplished that today.
Well, listen, there's all of that going on, and I know we're going to discuss it and to drop into it as well. And I'm laughing, guys, because we've got a few interviews, obviously, that we're going to have on this show and post on Inside Arkansas. But there's also been places I've gone and done interviews with even today. And everyone continues to be surprised when I say it's going to be tough for Arkansas to make a bowl game this year. But I always ask them in return and be like, okay, so, you cover whichever team, you cover Auburn, you cover whatever. So you look at Arkansas. What do you want to hear from Sam Pittman? What do you think is going to be the interesting thing? If you had a question for Sam Pittman, what are you going to ask him? And almost all of them are like, maybe, about the Taylon Green. Ask him about Taylon Green. Okay, what about Taylon Green? How big is it to have him back? It's not like an insulting thing towards Arkansas. It's more of just there's not really anything specific that I think, it's nice to hear from Sam Pittman, and who knows, maybe something will be said or asked in a way that gets him to answer something. But the storyline for Arkansas into this SEC Media Days to me has just been about Taylon Green returning to Arkansas and Bobby Petrino still being his offense coordinator. That's the thing I've heard the most here at Media Days.
Well, I can't wait to break it all down after the fact again. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's honestly, that's kind of what you get when you're in this situation that Arkansas is in right now. We're just kind of toiling in mediocrity, frankly. Mm-hmm. Like when the question is, can you make a bowl game or not? There's not a lot of heavy hitter questions to be asked. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, what? Yeah, like last year was the hot seat conversation. And I just saw, this is just one man's opinion, but On3 put it out. And I think it was, I can't remember whose list it was, but like the top 10 coaches in college football with the most pressure going into the season. And Sam wasn't on it. And that kind of goes back to something I said last week, to where I feel like that seat might not even be as hot this year going into the season as it was going into last year. And when the expectations kind of are what they are, and some people, everybody wants it to be better. All the fans want them to be better, but based on what you have and where everybody thinks you're going to be, like, I don't know where the juicy comes from. And I hope we find that tomorrow. I really do, because I like juice.
Yeah, it's weird. And we kind of, by the way, saw this coming, that like we kind of knew there's like not a ton of people nationally that are looking at Arkansas and are really excited to hear, what the Hogs have to say. You know how sometimes in sports you lose a game and obviously you're bummed out, and then you look over and you see the other team celebrating and you're kind of annoyed because they're doing it in your building or whatever. But then you really think about it and you're like, damn, you know what? They like earned it. They deserved it. Like they're the better team. They're the better story here. Like it's their story. It's their time. it's weird to feel like this in the off season where we go to media day and you see Arch Manning there with like everyone around him. You see all these Lane Kiffin, Hugh Freeze is making a bunch of comments, all these other people, and everyone's generating all this buzz. And you just kind of look back and you're like, you know what? This is their time. Like, this is their moment. Fair. I think for the Hogs, you can't feel sorry for yourselves because, like, you got to go out there and earn that. Like, that's what happens. And I know that a 7-6 season is like not horrible or anything, but it's like that's not what's going to earn you that big respect. And so we'll see what it is going to entail this season and what it's going to take for them to not be in this spot next year, where maybe next year, if Arkansas accomplishes whatever they want to accomplish, then we can maybe be in this situation and feel good about it and say, hey, we've got this player that everyone's talking about. We're this program that people are talking about. But right now, you just kind of have to accept that it's not your time. It's not your story right now. You're living in someone else's story, and you got to go out there and flip the script.
Yeah, it's up to you to how people are going to continue to try to be interested in you or to think in you and believe in you. I know the voting has officially commenced, and for those of you who are at Media Days, you can vote on what you think is going to be order of finish, all that good stuff. So it'll be fascinating to see where Arkansas lies on that. But the fascination with what Arkansas may or may not be doing this year, and with Sam Pittman and everything, is a matter of, what's your situation, man? Like, people thought you may have been fired last year. You're not. You came back, but why you want people to still believe in you? Why do you think you're still the man for the job? But a fascinating thing too, guys, and I believe if I looked at the schedule correctly, this is true. But usually when coaches come in, it has a pretty big layout of like, okay, well, coaches are going to go to the ESPN room here, CBS room here, all over the place. None of the coaches besides Sam Pittman, their first interview is the main big media room. Sam Pittman's the only one where his very first one, as soon as he arrives, is in the big main media room. So that's the one that's on the SEC network. That's the one that everyone's going to be clipping, going to be watching, and everything. So I'm not saying that he's going to be nervous under the lights, but it is going to be fascinating where it's like, hey, any question that you get asked or anything that you get said to or anything, it's going to be in the jump and from the beginning. And, I'm just wondering what that's going to look like. Because also, guys, Thursday afternoon, it's when a lot of people are leaving. There's not going to be as many people here. So, how many people are going to be asking them questions in general?
That's what I was about to ask you so if Arkansas is the last team to go and Sam Pittman's first thing is being right up there on the main podium, by the time he's making the rounds, a lot of people are going to be gone. It's just kind of, and it doesn't even have to be a reflection on how people feel about Arkansas or Sam Pittman. You just get out of there, man. That happens. We do it for basketball media day and stuff when we're there. It's just it's been a long week, So yeah, that's going to be really interesting. And I got asked this question a week ago on my weekly radio spot over in Jonesboro that John's sniping this week. Had big shoes to fill, buddy. Okay, but no, it's but they asked me like, what are you hoping to hear from Sam Pittman? And that's a fantastic question. But for me, I do hope, and because I know, and some people rub the wrong way about this, but when he did it was like that random interview day or whatever, where all these articles started coming out, and it's like, oh, Sam Pittman's, he's worried about revenue share and money and all these things again. And we were saying, all right, we get it, but portray some confidence. Like you're saying, like, give us a reason to believe. Why are you excited? Why should we be excited? Why is this going to be different? Why is it going to be better? And yeah, it's all coach speak. That's what everyone's doing here. That's what 15 other coaches in the SEC are doing, is talking about why their team's going to be better and why this is the year and why we're excited and why you should be fired up. I just want to hear all that from him, because I do miss the days of Sam Pittman being, confident and excited with what he has, as opposed to what we've gotten lately. And some of it's just the line of questioning you get in the offseason with all this stuff going on. But it's like, oh, we're really hoping for revenue share and closing the gap. And man, we're tired of getting outbid. And boy, yeah, it is tough. We just seem to have all these guys hit the portal. And it's like, bro, get us fired up, please. So I hope that he does a little bit of that. I'm begging the man, actually.
I'm with you as well. And, when you talk about that article that we reacted to, and I mean, we talked about it for a few days on the show because there was so much to dive into with it. Maybe some of that was just kind of lost in translation because, again, that wasn't from a press conference or anything. And so I'm interested to just see if we kind of fall in love with Sam Pittman again, because he has a way, like, most of the time when we hear from Sam Pittman and we talk to him, you want to cheer for him. Like, you like the guy. Like, he's, funny. He makes us laugh. Like, you kind of just want to pull for him. He's kind of always had that about him. And he has a way of just, again, making you want to cheer for him. And most of the time we feel that way. It doesn't make us feel that much better when the team loses and we're upset. It doesn't make us feel better just because we like that guy. But usually when you hear from him, you can at least kind of talk yourself into it in some way, shape, or form. Here lately, we've just kind of struggled to see the real optimism. And so we've had to be kind of the bearers of bad news. But even most of the fan base, when they hear him talk, you want to pull for him. And so I'm honestly just hoping for that. Because he does, again, have a knack for doing that. I mean, he's come to this media day before and said all the right things and left where Arkansas was the cool team of like, hey, yeah, like, I want to cheer for Sam Pittman. You have national guys. He's this kind of darling, figure. And then, like you said, John, you talk to people and they all seem to be positive about Sam Pittman. Oh, love the guy. He's done such a great job with the program and all that, because they honestly like just view him that way. But sometimes when you're so close to him, it's hard to view him that way because you just see him every day. I'm just looking forward to seeing if Sam Pittman can kind of capture that magic and understand his situation and just make us feel good and want to cheer for him. And I do actually think he's got a good chance to do that tomorrow.
Well, and I think the confidence that you guys are talking about that he needs to show, and I 100% agree. It's not about showing me a certain vibe or a certain way of doing it. For instance, guys, when we talk about Cal and that press conference and practice that he opened it up to, and then talking to the KSR guys here, it's like that shows confidence in how Cal does it. Cal's not a guy that's just going to come out and say, I'm confident, and that's how you know he's confident. He shows it by, I'm going to talk to the media for 40 minutes, and I'm going to open up practice because I think I got this team that's healthy, and I'm feeling great about it, feeling myself. That's how he shows the confidence. So Sam Pittman, he doesn't have to do that for us to see confidence. He can do it in his own way. It's not a written down, you got to say some funny lines, and you got to be this level of energy, and you got to be able to jump around, have some funny shoes that you're wearing. Like, no, be the confident Sam Pittman that we have seen at times where you are feeling a little bit more loose, but you're also not, oh man, type of feeling. Just be you in this spotlight and on the SEC network where the media is watching, people are going to be clipping it, all those things. Just be that guy and let loose. And I think that's going to just go a long way as long as you show your confidence in your own unique way, Sam Pittman.
Maybe he'll go up there and lead off with a joke.
That'd be great.
Just a good, old dad joke or something and lighten the mood a little bit. I'd be good with that. And maybe he doesn't want to answer a bunch of questions or wonders how many questions he's going to get. And he does the filibuster thing. Like, you only get so much time up there on the podium. He just gets after it for like 19 straight minutes. He usually does that. And in fairness, he does have some longer opening statements because he's the guy that's like, we have this many players from the state of Arkansas, and we got this many out of the portal, this many high school kids. We got these guys, we got this many starters back on offense and this many on defense. And we're excited about our special team, Scott Fountain. Like, he'll go through the entire roster. Yeah, exactly. So he might actually do that. And man, if he's the last one to go there on that day, people are going to be snooze fest.
Yeah, I know, John, I don't know if we were going to base his health, get into the chat or on anything, but I saw this comment. I just, because it reminded me, we were talking about the confidence of Sam Pittman, but Bruce is, what does that do to the players that he does have when he's doing the crying and moaning and here's why we can't accomplish what we need to accomplish? And I think that's the biggest thing from a vibe standpoint that has changed in the last several years of how we view Sam Pittman. I think back to that 2021 season of that team that obviously won 9 games, did a lot of good things, but you never really had to question how much those players like were very bought in and were all in on wanting to win for Sam and wanting to do their best for him. Even in 2022, when they weren't as good, I still felt like the guys like believed in Sam and wanted to win. And you saw how hard they played for him in the bowl game. You saw it a little bit in the Texas Tech bowl game this past year. Like, there is a element of that, of like they find guys who really do want to win for Sam. We've had to question that more in recent years because of some of the performances that we've seen and them kind of fall short in these big moments. But I think that's really we can feel however we feel about Sam, and we don't like a lot of the things that he said this offseason, but really what matters is how does his team feel about him? And that's another thing that I hope to get a sense for just from watching him talk, watching the 3 players that he brought with him talk, and just getting a sense of that kind of vibe, because we can all feel how we want to feel about it, but we really aren't the ones that matter. It's them kind of and how they feel about it. But I do think that's valid when you have a head coach going up there talking about the blue light special and stuff. that definitely is something that the players notice. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles a lot of delicate situations here tomorrow.
Yep. I mean, he's gonna be on the spotlight, and the media. One thing I don't want, and I don't think this will happen because this hasn't happened in a long time. But the one thing I don't want is he gets a 30-minute window in that main room, and it doesn't go for 30 minutes because there's nobody there or they don't have any questions. That's always the tough.
Don't give that man the Jerry Stackhouse treatment.
Yeah.
He's gotta.
Yeah. That's the toughest thing. I just don't want to see that happen to him. I want to see people talk to him. I want to see people ask him questions. And if he filibusters, that's fine. But there's nothing worse than having to hear Kevin Trainor be like, any other questions for Coach? Okay. All right. Thank you, Coach, for your time. And it's like, oh, gosh, man, 30 minutes, not even with the entire media there, not even 30 minutes. That'd be a tough look for sure. So,
and they don't have, Bob to bail him out.
No.
It's a very real
Bob
thing.
would have pulled all of that out of him. Yeah, that I was talking about all of us falling in love with him. Bob would have pulled it out for sure.
Yes, 100%.
mm-hmm. In fact, that's why you never had to worry about an Arkansas coach not going the first 30 or for the full 30 minutes because you'd find it for any coach, but for Arkansas coaches specifically, he would for sure be able to find plenty of questions to ask on that. So, but yeah, we'll get into various topics. We're gonna have some guests that are coming on. We'll have our heavy hitters as well. But let's go ahead and do a little vibe checking of the chat presented by friends over at Basis Health. We know that they're changing the way healthcare is delivered by providing mobile medical visits to the comfort of your own home. The doctor will come to your home for urgent care, primary care, IV hydration, and so much more. It's Basis Health. They are here for you when and where you need them the most. You can learn more at basishealth.org today. All right, so going ahead and getting into the chat. And in fact, since we might as well mention this, we got a few new members like Lane. Shout out to Lane, as well as L. Nice. Nicholas and Smelliot. Love that. But as a reminder.
WKRP also. I saw it before we started the show. Yeah, it might have disappeared, but I saw it before we started.
Okay. Well, shout out to them because tonight, Curtis and Andrew are going to be having a members-only live stream on YouTube here on Inside Arkansas. And you got to be a member to be able to be a part of that. And it's at 8 o'clock, right? Central Time?
That's right.
Okay. Sorry. Easter. The time zone's always throwing me off here, too. So, but yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be unfiltered, uncensored, and I really don't know what to expect, and I don't really want to know what happens in it. So just let it happen. You
probably aren't going to want to go back and listen, John. I don't know, but no, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it, and honestly, this is very much an ask us anything. Like we don't have this huge plan of of all these things that we're going to do. Like we've got some trivia and some giveaways that we're going to do, but this really is like, hey, we appreciate you guys. You're in here with, hundreds of people or whatever every day, but this is getting straight to your questions. And look, ask me about basketball recruiting and, Eric Musselman stuff or, like whatever. And that's all great. I'm happy to answer all those questions and we'll have a lot of fun with it, but we do a pot at the Palace every day. You know what I mean? Like Andrew does a bombastic every day with all his baseball stuff. So we can get into the weeds and the specifics and that's great, but feel free to spice it up a little bit. Ask us anything. It doesn't have to be Razorback related. Ask us how we really feel about John. You know, right. We can get personal with it. Not, I don't have to get too weird, but I would say 98.1% of things that you could ask us are within our boundaries here.
Well, at least let the John question be like the 5th or 6th. Don't come out off the bat with how do we feel about our our coworker and our boss. Like how do you? I don't know. Like we can lead into that a little bit, but no, absolutely we want to. We want to be off the cuff, want to just be hanging out and doing it at night. I feel like helps because I feel like there are people that can, Curtis will probably be cracking open a couple bevies. We'll have a good time. We'll have a good time at late night.
Yeah, that's right.
We can't be held responsible for anything because it's behind anybody who wants to be mad at us is going to have to be a member just to be mad. So it's like, all right, if you want to pay us to scold us, you can. But I feel like we've got that protection.
I just want to bring this up real quick because Finch says I already put something on there since I'll be at church when you guys start. I'm ready to join when we get out though. Huge. That's going to be you talk about a night and day difference walking out of church and then coming into this, but we do have that stream scheduled for members. So like if you're in that situation, you're going to be a little bit late or maybe you can't tune in live. We hope you can. That way we can go back and forth with you, but you can hop in the chat a little bit early and throw your questions in or topics or whatever you want to hear discussed. You can do that.
Yeah. Immediately when you start talking about things that could be said about me, I thought of the Office episode when Michael gets roasted. And it's like, at the end of the roast, there's supposed to be something nice said, about the person. It's just like, nope, everyone comes in hot, just ripping. And no, it'll be fun to have that. And for those of you who are asking, I see a bunch of people like, how do you become a member? It's on YouTube. It's, I guess it depends on your phone or if your tablet or desktop, but there's just a simple subscribe button or join, become a member. It's $5 a month pretty much. And we're going to do, some giveaways and some cool stuff for it tonight. So want to remind everybody, be sure to tune in and hang out.
I've got some heat for basketball trivia for some Pod of the Palace gear.
We have 4 trivia questions, 2 basketball, 2 baseball. Yeah. So bring your thinking hats.
That's right.
Yep. I can't wait to hear about it. That's the same. I'm not going to watch it. But I can't wait to hear about it.
Is this your big night, John, down there?
Reportedly, yeah. I think it's happening. There's no getting out of it tonight. I was kind of trying to, but it's just, I don't know. It's not, it's not the same, man. It's not like Barrett Salee. My guy's not here. T-Bob's with Barstool. He's big time now, so he's not going to be here. But it was nice to have so many people come up to me. They're like, "Hey, man, where are we doing it? Where are we doing it?" Which is great. But then at the same time, because I'm doing so much, it's like, golly, it's more of like, "Hey, where's it at?" As in, "Hey, John, you need to do this because you've become that guy." So I was like, all this pressure's on me. I got to make it happen. But
what are you going with tonight?
I think, yeah.
Are you a little preview? What's going on? Are you previewing or are you keeping it under wraps?
So I got a couple of options. I'm thinking Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Wow.
Because I like having a song that everyone belts out and sings with me so it doesn't sound as bad. And I feel like that's a good song where everyone does the and I don't hits that at the same time.
Smart.
So yeah, because the more people you get singing with you, it drowns you out and it all works out. So thinking about that. Or I may bring out an oldie but a goodie of certain ones, like maybe Adele makes a return. We'll see. Just depends on how I'm feeling. Yep, rolling in the deep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I met a wiener dog 2 days ago that's 16 years old named Adele when I was at the vet. Yeah.
Has it been cooking for 16 years? Is that how long she's been famous?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe there's something to it.
Has to be, right? Because why the hell else would you name your dog that? But yeah, anyway.
You would almost have to. Shout out to Quinn for the super chat. Appreciate you, Quinn. He goes, John, thanks for having Taylor Corn. Watch that interview, WDE. Yeah, no, Taylor was great. Felt bad for her, though, because her brain was completely and totally fried. And I simply asked her at the end, I was like, who's the first Razorback player you just think of randomly when you hear Razorback football? She just was like, I got nothing. She had nothing. I was like, oh, man.
Bonk, Quinn, by the way. Bonk.
Yeah. Yeah, she had nothing. So I was like, okay. But I was like, because I kind of set her up, I was like, not Darren McFadden, no big player, just a random player. And it didn't go well. So I'm like, crap. But it's fine. No, she was great, though. She was great.
You go to horny Joe. What if she asked you that question about Auburn? What would your answer have been?
Probably Kenny Irons.
Okay.
Really?
Just a random, like not a great, just the first player that came to my mind, Kenny Irons.
That was not the name I thought you were about to throw out.
Cadillac was what was in my mind.
Scam Newton was in my mind.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. Like,
too, man. Auburn's got a good Mount Rushmore.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It wasn't. I was asking us in. Don't give me the stars and the studs. Give me just the randoms. But that's why I was like, Kenny Irons was just the first one. There's nothing
John loves more than just like a mid-2000s obscure collegiate athlete.
Yep. It's my favorite thing because it takes me back to simpler times, back when college sports were great. So,
yeah, dude, when we travel and we start doing that with basketball, and John will be like, you remember random Georgia Bulldog? If he throws out a name, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. Just it's like, yeah, was it Bliss? I think it was his name. Man, we don't need to get into it right now, but either way.
Maybe that's what we'll do tonight, me and Curtis. We just about 28 minutes in, we're like, dude, what are we gonna do? I don't know, man. David Pollock.
Yeah. There you go. Quinn also follows up with Super Jazz, says, Andrew, that's where your mind went. Ryan Mallett is who I thought of. So
Okay. All right.
Appreciate it.
Quinn, who by the way will be here for the Auburn football game.
Yeah.
That's right. Awesome. That's right. I can't wait to see how all that goes. It's going to be great. Let's see. A few chats here, too. A shout out to Hickory Hog. He just says, checking in from Northeast Arkansas, and it's 9,000 degrees. I've ruined 2 shirts on the day working on the 3rd. Please get me through the next couple hours, fellas. Woo pig. We'll do our best. We'll do our best for you.
Buddy, it's hot here in Northwest Arkansas again. We had a little bit of a cool down period, just a bunch of random rain and everything. So it was like lower 80s or something. But I was out and about a little bit this morning before the show. It's hot. Summertime.
That post-rain heat is tough.
Yeah.
That post-rain heat is tough. But yeah, we got drizzed up yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, I haven't even been outside, not once since I've been here. So I don't know what the weather is here in Atlanta.
I was about to ask if you went to the All-Star game or not.
No, I would have been cool to have gone, but no, they didn't. They didn't make that one of the SEC media member events. It was just, here's some basic food and some basic drinks, and you guys just go to town. It's pretty much all it was.
Yeah, well,
it works.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I'm not. Who am I to complain? But there are people that here that are very much complaining. Let's see. Also, Scooby Dooby says, to be honest, there's nothing he can really say, talking about Pittman, to get me hyped this upcoming season.
I understand.
Yeah, I think there's a few people that feel this way.
Yeah, I 100% understand that. I will say that my hope would be that he just doesn't add any fuel to the fire. You know what I mean? Like, don't say anything to piss people off further or drive them away further, Because everybody here is just, they're talking out the side of their neck, man. Like, it's all coach speak when you get to this point. Just do that. Mm-hmm. Just follow the example of the 4 days worth of dudes who've been talking in front of you.
That's why I think Pittman's going to do okay tomorrow. He's going to win because he's not going to try and win the press conference. Like, I don't think he's going to come here and like do anything crazy. He's just going to kind of be like his normal coach speak, but it'll be charming and we'll smile and nod and it'll be good.
Yeah. Also, too, let's see. God, Porkenstein just says, "What do you call a vegetarian with the runs?"
Yeah. Well, when I started this, I didn't realize that I might not ever see the answer if you posted it. So
yeah, I think Porkenstein has to give us the answer. I want to know. I saw it.
So I threw it out there. It's like maybe he'll follow up with it. Yeah, we'll wait for the response there. Let's see. Austin from work says Michelle needs a raise. Y'all got her working OT today.
Yeah, she's about to be actually working. She's helping people get signed up for our membership.
Oh.
Every time somebody asks that, she'll add them and be like, "Hey, here's how you do it."
Yep.
Which is nice because,
Yeah, because I've had a tough time explaining it.
Yeah.
In fact, I screwed it up on the pod this morning, I think. But
yeah.
Well, all you got to do is go here and you got 2 options. And I was like, click on the wrong one. So,
people figure it out.
But hey, we got a boost in subscribers. So that's nice.
Hey, whatever it takes, growing the brand here. Bill just says, John, tell us how come Arkansas is always disrespected on the SEC network and scheduling. We see it all the time. Are we not loved? No, you're not loved, for one. And 2, I don't know if they're being disrespected on the SEC network. I'm not really sure. You're talking about people talking about Arkansas or not talking about Arkansas. My thing is, I get it from the TV perspective. You have 16 teams and only so much time, and you're going to talk about the teams that have the bigger audiences and the bigger draw. So that's the big part of it. But scheduling wise, man, that's you got to talk to. Maybe I'll ask Greg Sankey about that when I talk to him tomorrow.
For longest, it was just happenstance of being in the West, but now it's like just hate you.
Yep.
Sorry,
you suck. Is all it is.
Here's the thing: is I really don't think Arkansas is disrespected. I just don't think people care. Like I think they're just like. I even think actually, like if you ask most people, they'll be like, yeah, Arkansas, they're fine. I just don't think people like. I think that's even worse.
Yeah, I do too. I really do too. And I think with like something to say with scheduling, for instance, I'm also going to ask Greg Sankey tomorrow about Arkansas not playing Kentucky twice in basketball. You know what's sad? As I may talk to Greg Sankey more about basketball than football. I'm just going to be I may end up talking to him.
That's a good move. That's a very good move.
Yeah.
By the way, for any of you NBA folks out there, Bradley Beal just agreed to a contract buyout with the Phoenix Suns, and he's going to join the Los Angeles Clippers.
Oof. Really?
Lakers fans got to be so pissed, man.
So you're going to have Harden, Brad Beal, Kawhi,
and Paul George. Is he still there?
I think he's
he left. No, he's a Sixer. He's with the other injured guys. Yeah.
Jeez.
And what a fascinating. Is Russell Westbrook still over there? What's going on? There's a lot going on.
Oh man, that's tough.
That deal.
Yeah.
Dang. Anyway,
let's see a few chats here too, because I know we got to get to our heavy hitters real quick. But shout out to Cannon for a member for 2 months. He says, haven't been able to watch as much due to work, sadly, but appreciate y'all. We appreciate you.
yeah, we appreciate you. And if work is costing you your midday viewing, then looks like you've been a member for 2 months, buddy. So hop on into the AMA tonight at 8.
Hell yeah.
Members only. It's exclusive.
I thought Curtis was about to say, if work's been keeping you from watching us, then quit and find another job.
Different job.
Yeah. Come on, man. Nick Lee also has been a member for 2 months. He says, everyone add me on NCAA 26 at Woo Da Pig. Does Inside Arkansas have their own league?
Are you talking PS5? Because if it is, I mean, might have to. But we really should actually maybe at some point in like late July, we will. Mm-hmm. If we have enough people, we can pull off a league. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
No, I'm wanting to do it. It's just I haven't had time to really like sit down and see how it works and all that. Because I don't want to be like, hey, we're starting all this stuff, and then no one knows what to do, and I don't know what to do, and then it just becomes a cluster, which never happens ever.
John, do you think a PS5 could be a company tax write-off?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's content. So
we'll look into it.
Yeah, I'll talk to my CPA. See what
there we go.
If Curtis gets a PS5, the next members only stream would 1,000% be he's an NCAA 26.
Oh man, yeah, that's awesome.
Otherwise, I'll just go to Andrew's house and I'll just get on the extra controller like we did in the old days.
The old days of playing on the same TV screen and with the same system. What a concept that is. Yeah, that'd be great. We'll get to more of your chats. We'll have some interviews too, but we do have to get to our heavy hitters presented by our friends over at HD Roofing and Construction. We know storms can hit unexpectedly, so be sure to contact HD Roofing for your peace of mind with a free inspection. When you choose HD Roofing, you can rely on that professionalism, top quality materials, and expert installation for all of your roofing needs. You can call them today at 501-428-0429. That's 501-428-0429. You can also check out hdarkansas.com or scan that QR code for more information. It's HD Roofing and Construction. All right, guys. So for heavy hitters, I hope I didn't steal this one, Curtis. Remember, I texted you. I wanted to bring it up with you, but this one with Cal. Anything with Cal. Just got to bring it up. Got to have some fun with it. This was, I guess, in this particular case, was at a Rotary Club down in Little Rock, and this little quote, this gets people fired up. I saw some Kentucky fans fired up, so I'm here for it, but got to give it to Cal with this quote.
Night at Kentucky. There's no way that was not a special night in your life.
It is now. Like, when I think back, like, that was nice. Okay? But at the time, folks, we were 1-6.
Right.
Now I look back, it was good. And you know what? I have a year to enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have a year to have misery. But
you were so calm, though, and you go out and you visit with those people.
Dude, I mean, come on. Like, I may have to make the clip of like, that was nice. That was nice. I love that. But, little fun shots, but you could tell, man, as soon as he got asked about it, the smile, the laugh, now it definitely is something he probably looks back upon. I was like, man, that was pretty great. That was pretty great.
It's one of those moments in life that changes a man,
Apparently so.
Also, when he talks about the most rewarding year of his coaching career, that has to be like a top 3 moment, right?
Man,
I would think so.
Of course, the NCAA tournament wins, probably really actually do mean more to him. But like when he thinks back about what he accomplished this year, that moment has to be one of the most gratifying of recent memory for him.
What's a top 3 moment in my talking career? So
100%.
Yeah, easily. I think it would be maybe his most satisfying memory, like the most satisfying thing he ever had. Because I don't know how, all of us walked out of there like, man, we were very satisfied with all of that. Couldn't imagine what it meant to him and making that happen.
It's comfortably top 7 in my life of like actual moments. I'm not even talking about like Arkansas sports. I'm talking about just like days, nights of my life. It's probably like top 7.
That's fair. All right. So yeah, that's my heavy hitter for today.
Nice. No, that's a good one. I had a personal one for today that I wanted to share. And I shared a little bit about this on Twitter, but I just want to give a shout out to my best friend, best man in my wedding, David Harris. He's got a a head coaching job at a really big high school in Illinois, over just across the river in Cahokia. And I'm just really happy for him, man. Like I grew up an only child, have a stepbrother. He came into my life a little bit later, but consider him a brother. And man, just things were it wasn't easy for us. I mean, it was like, hopefully one of us has electricity, or hopefully somebody's mom is able to make supper tonight. And we just kind of went through a lot together. But this dude has been through obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. He had a stroke when he was like 25 years old, and had to overcome that. COVID came and he got really sick, had blood clots and stuff. He like heart stopped, and had to overcome that. It's just been one thing after another. Nothing's ever come easy. And man, he just doesn't quit, and he doesn't pout. He's always got a positive outlook on everything. It's kind of inspirational, honestly. And he was the one who was up here with me last week. Got a bunch of stuff going on in his life, and I'm overwhelmed with trying to get ready for this baby and everything. The dude comes up here and helps me build everything, moving stuff. And the whole time he's like, oh, man, I interviewed for this head coaching job. Dang, I want it. Man, I hope I get it. I really think I can make an impact. I really think I can help these kids. And this is in an area where they need help and they need a role model. And he got it yesterday, man. So I was really, really happy for him. A good dude, a great friend, and want to give him a personal shout out here on the show because I'm pumped up for him, man. It was good stuff.
That's awesome, man. Good for him.
Well, mine is not going to be as good as that. That was really good. that was a sentimental. That was not what I needed to this early in the day to be getting emotional this early in the day. My heavy hitters are not as emotional. One, I want to start with this. Just some congratulations. True love still exists out there. Y'all familiar with a young woman by the name of Maya Lesner? You may remember her because she has a very prolific shot put career at Colorado State, and she's the daughter of Mr. Brock Lesnar. And she could not look more like they. You can tell the apple does not fall far from the tree. So she had this like crazy career as a shot putter. I think she was like All-American. She might have even been in the Olympics. I don't know, but she found love recently with San Francisco 49er linebacker Drew Moss.
No way!
Wow.
Dana White has called dibs on the offspring, and I just thought that was awesome. I thought that was cool. They're now Instagram official. They're just dating. They're not like married or anything, but we got something in the works there. I think we've got an absolute unit.
That's very cool. You think he's met the parents yet?
Maybe. I mean, hey, I think Brock is probably at this stage of his life maybe a little bit more approachable than he probably was 10, 15 years ago.
We were scared to approach him at Tin Roof this time about a year ago, actually.
You should be scared to approach him for sure. I bet he probably wouldn't have killed you if you had approached him. Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, if you approach the right way, like, hey, I let me buy you a drink, like come a little bit with a gift, maybe that would work out. But how about that? Yeah, that I've always said with something like that, though, it's great no matter what when you find love. But I'm glad it is something to that extent and not, some tiny little fellow, because then suddenly like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But
yeah,
bulk, athletes, strength. That kid's just going to be beaming with all of those things. Yeah. So
I thought that was headed towards a Love Island rant, but we'll get into that tonight.
Love Island has not been a good experience for me this year. I really, this, Curtis, I enjoyed last year. Like I got into it last summer. I could not this summer. They finally finished and it's over now. But good Lord, it was a tough one. My second heavy hitter, because I have two. Congratulations to West Virginia football. They just picked up a 3-star running back commit. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this bro's name is Sir Paul Cheeks, and they call him Jesus in cleats. 3-star running back.
Jesus
Sir Paul Cheeks has committed to West Virginia.
Let's go, man.
Sir Paul Jesus in cleats Cheeks. I really, really hope he's just like playable, and like he gets some carries. That would be sick.
He's one of those players, I don't even care if he's good. I would give him a scholarship just so we could have him on the team and have that name and be talked about. That's incredible. That's incredible.
I love I feel like guys like this usually thrive in college sports. You know who didn't pan out was DeColdis Crawford. Never really wound up doing much. I think he transferred a few times, never really found a home. But anytime you get an athlete that's like a name, like has that's a crazy one. But like, you remember that running back at Kentucky? I think it was like Benny Snell or something like that, and they called him something weird. But anytime you have a running back where it's like, hey, just give it to so-and-so. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, there's plenty of that too. I just can't get over that name. Let's see. Also, real quick, as I know we'll have Peter Burns of the SEC Network joining us. Curtis, saw you retweet this, but how about this? Memphis gets put on that 2-year probation, man. Memphis basketball, the NCAA. People think that they're irrelevant. They get a 1% budget fine after 2 softball players. With this, it's Memphis softball. Softball players were paid $550 to complete coursework for a former Memphis basketball player. The academic counselor who paid the softball players gets a 10-year show cause penalty. Was that wrong?
Yeah, it was like $500 and some odd that this counselor paid out to these softball players to give the basketball player test answers or whatever it was.
That's old school. Dude, that's an old school penalty. I love that.
Shame.
Yep.
I like that. That reminds me of the North Carolina stuff for sure.
That's definitely one of those things that you will turn yourself in for, kind of infraction. It's like, oh yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at no more looking into us now. We're good.
Yeah.
We'll accept
no more skeletons in this closet.
Yeah. I just laugh because then it's like the NCAA is so worthless in so many things, but they're like, hey, we're still going to do this stuff though. We're still going to make sure you can't have softball players. $550. What a specific number of like minus 500.
School that like reported something. They were like, hey, we just took this guy out to dinner and $180. We went over our limit. Like, hey, we're reporting this infraction. Who was that?
Somebody, was it LSU that just I think it was, that reported that one of the kids who was on an official visit basically bought the high-speed internet in the hotel room.
It was the internet.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was. Yeah.
And it was like, oh, so this is bad. We made him pay it back, and
Jeez,
self-reporting.
Yeah.
It's character still matters.
You can pay players, you just can't pay people to do grades for them, apparently, these days, and a lot of that.
We made him pay for the strip club visit. We made him pay for the strippers and the prostitutes, but
that's right.
We
That's right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hear from our friend Peter Burns. As we're going to have a few guests here on the show today, but I want to remind everybody that here on Inside Arkansas Live, we're presented by our friends over at Hickey and Hole Law. We know divorce and custody cases are far too important to try and face alone, so let Hickey and Hole Law provide you with persistent and diligent representation to help guide you through the entire process, where they have handled thousands of family law cases and have experienced every scenario that has ever come up. They understand that it is crucial to their clients that they keep them updated on their cases and that they are available to provide advice and counsel throughout the process. They will take time to meet with clients, respond to emails, and always return your calls. So have Hickey and Hole Law offices across the state of Arkansas in Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Mena. Well, give them a call today at 479-434-2414. That's 479-434-2414. Or you can check out their website at hickeyandhole.com, or you can scan that QR code in your screen as well. It's Hickey and Hole Law. Things are about to get better. And again, things are going to get better for us here as we're going to go ahead and hear from Peter Burns of the SEC Network and what he has to say about Arkansas, and maybe a little surprising about how he feels about the Razorbacks and their chances of having a successful season. So let's go ahead and hear from our guy, PB. All right now we have a very special guest joining us live from SEC Media Days here. I guess it's not Radio Row, it's Digital Hub, Digital Drive. Don't really know, it doesn't matter because it's Peter Burns of the SEC Network who's joining us right now. And PB, it's been a long time. Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Is it Media Days? Is it kickoff? I've called it like 17 different things this whole entire week. So as long as we're here, and I'll say this. This is probably the most normal it's felt since probably 2019. Because we're not talking about, we are talking NIL, but we know that world. We're talking a little bit about the transfer portal. Everybody knows how to work that now with the GMs and whatnot. We're not talking about conference expansion, not talking about what the college football playoff is going to be. This is the first time in a long time, John, we're talking about actual football on the field. The problem is that we don't know who the hell's on these rosters anymore. Like, I had a coach tell me yesterday, he's like, hey, listen, when I come to Media Days, like, let's just kind of go broad right now because I don't know a whole hell of a lot about my team. It just goes to show you the amount of movement there is in college football right now.
Yeah, I was even talking with somebody about the days, I know you remember, but like Johnny Manziel when he came here and just the chaos that ensued from
Nuts.
it. And Tim Tebow was a huge deal in 2012 and everything. I just don't know if we'll ever have something to that level of a player or quarterback. I mean, there'll be ones that are very popular, but to that level, it's going to be tough these days.
Arch Manning, to a certain extent. There's a lot of hype there. Diego Pavio rolling up in the tuxedo. Like, that's a boss-ass move right there.
Yeah,
like, when you roll into although I got some beef with Diego. So we're rolling through yesterday. I go over there. I say hello. He's walking through the hall. He goes, "Hey, man, appreciate it. Thanks, coach." Like, the man called me coach. I was like, I know I look like an old-ass man anymore, but, like, no, like, I'm not the coach any longer. So it's I don't know if we'll get that, just because I think we have, between the videos and, like, Reagan, the intern here's doing all the videos, like, we have this tangible, we can see all these athletes all the time. So I think the enigma of these athletes will never get like a Bo Jackson or a Herschel Walker where there's like, oh my God, this is the first time we get a chance to see them. We know their lives now, and that's good and bad.
Yeah. Well, and also too, of course, we talk about the Razorbacks mainly in my neck of the woods.
Sure.
I don't know how you feel. I know everyone's excited about their own team, but I've talked to people about Arkansas and where they just kind of fall right now in the SEC.
Yeah.
I talked to Dara yesterday, mentioned a little bit almost like a purgatory where it's not that they're going to be bad or anyone's predicting to be bad, but they're not going to be a team that people talk about a dark horse. It just seems like they're kind of there this upcoming season.
Yeah, but I think if you go back and we look at the film of last year, I could sure as hell say the same thing about South Carolina football.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't know who Laura Sellers was. Like, I mean, I heard that he was pretty decent, but kid had been injured, had been heavily recruited, but we didn't know that they were going to be good. And all of a sudden, we had no idea who Dylan Stewart was going to be. Then he turns into a star. So there are those guys that kind of work into the background that all of a sudden, all right, there's some talent. You can't tell me that Bobby Petrino didn't have flashes of success. You look at Taylor Green, like he was a SOB to some teams right now. The question is you couldn't expect for him to do it all. And I think there was some uncertainty on whether or not Sam was going to be back or not. And I love the fact that Hunter said, listen, all right, let's roll this back, another opportunity. Because do you think that Sam works every single day and his ass off to win in this program? I do. I've seen coaches in this conference just say, give me my buyout money. I'm done. I never got that feeling around Sam Pittman. But you got to get the right guys. And that's what South Carolina did last year. Is they built the right guys in the transfer portal. They didn't go after the 5 stars and pay the money like Ole Miss did. Well, guess what? They still had a lot of success. So that's why I'm trying to find out where I'm at with Arkansas this year.
And I agree. I guess the thing that I keep harping on is that schedule that they have, because it's a tale as old as time, a tradition like no other to have the most difficult schedule, which, hey.
Can't cry on a yacht, baby.
Exactly. And that's what it's tough to do, because it's about wins and losses, and regardless of who you beat or how it's done. And, I look at Arkansas' schedule and I'm like, good grief, this is tough.
Yeah.
But, that's,
who's not?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole thing.
Although maybe Missouri. Missouri probably has maybe the easiest schedule coming up this year.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If Arkansas had that schedule, hey, maybe 9 wins, but that's not how it works. That's not the way the game's played.
No, but again, are you building something that you can have some success with? And I think that you look at this program, you look at the city in Fayetteville, like why would you not want to spend time there?
Yep.
Right? Like I think that was one of the biggest thing. And I grew up in Louisiana. But like all throughout my life, I'm thinking Arkansas. And then I finally got an opportunity to go up there to Fayetteville. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is, like, who would not want to be in this area? Like it's beautiful. You've got so much business out there. And then like the fan base is wild. So you just got to catch the right player at the right time. And then again, if you're asking for an offensive genius mind, you don't think Bobby Petrino is going to leave anything in the bag this year, do you? Like him and Sam are like, all right, burn the boats. Let's give it a go, and they're going to be hell for everybody.
You mentioned Petrino. Also, I've been discussing this. I'm the biggest Petrino fan there is. I understand his history, but can you think of somebody that has transcended college football as long as he has an offensive mind and having success talking about 20 years, and you see coaches get hot with offensive minds and have a good stretch, but 20 years is a long time for him.
Think about the guy that was at SEC Media Days today. I mean, Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze was that name, and guess what? Didn't have that success. But Bobby Petrino, every place that he's gone, it's never been a fact of whether he was good offensively and a brilliant mind. It was, could he get it out of his own way? Right. And obviously we saw what happened. And hey, you pay your penance, and now you have an opportunity to come back. And I think it's a redemption story that not a lot of people get that opportunity. Like we've all made mistakes. And for him to have that opportunity to kind of right those proverbial wrongs, but to do it in a place that he was so beloved at is a great kind of arc. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays. It might be 4 wins. It might be 6 wins. All I know is that Sam Pittman and that whole crew, every time I talk to them, I think they're all in on this team, and there's not a lot of programs that could say that.
Last one before I let you get here real quick. I've asked everybody this. If Arkansas has a college football rival, who is it? Who would you say is their rival?
That's a weird one. It's like LSU. LSU has like 4 or 5 kind of like, I mean, LSU for a little bit because of the Battle of the Boot. Missouri, but that feels okay. I don't know. We'll get Reagan the intern. We'll get her on that question. I'll ask Chat GPT.
There you
we'll
go.
Do that.
They never get anything wrong.
No.
So yeah, it'll be great.
Oh, by the way, real quick, one quick story because I know I got to go. I was trying to do some show prep last year for my SiriusXM show, and I didn't get a chance to watch every single basketball game the night before. And so I was like, hey, give me a summary of it. And this was last year, okay? Coach Cal, the whole thing. And it's like Eric Musselman's squad did really good. And I was like, okay. That's when I know I couldn't fact check.
Yeah, just for that fact, a matter of that. So, but hey, it's Peter Burns of the SEC Network. Appreciate it as always, PB, man. Good to see you. Good to talk with you. And enjoy the rest of Atlanta, man.
Thanks, Sean.
All right, appreciate it. All right, that was Peter Burns who joining us here at SEC Football Media Days. And I got to tell you, there's so many things that go on here at Media Days when you get to talk to people and get other takes and other opinions. But, we talked about Sam Pittman, and is he one of those guys that just is going to grind it out and is going to do whatever it takes to win? And is he working extremely hard to be able to pull that off? Well, the answer, at least to me, is yes. I mean, there's no doubt that you can feel a certain way about Sam Pittman and about his ability as him as a coach or whatever. But to me, the guy's at least still trying. He's still trying to put some things together. He's still trying to make it all happen. So we always have our guy Crane and Co. over here clapping. So if that's what you guys hear, it's all that. It's nothing else too crazy. So, but what's great about it is like when you get the opinions of those, some outside the perspective, at least for me, I feel like there's so many people that will maybe put some things into perspective for you. Or maybe if you feel too negative, they'll do positive. Or if you feel too positive, they'll do negative. But to be able to be in the position that Pittman's going to be in, and with Arkansas, he mentioned South Carolina. Are they going to do that? Is that the type of team that they're going to be this year? No, I'm not going to go that far. I'd love for that to happen, but I'm not going to go that far. But I think also to his point, sometimes you don't know whenever a team is going to be really good. And if you think about Arkansas historically, folks, because I want some of your chats, and if you want to get in on the conversation, because we're going to hear from Connor O'Gara here in just a little bit of Saturday Down South. I want y'all's thoughts on this. Arkansas historically, when they've had really good seasons, great seasons even, more often than not have come when you least expected it. I think in 2010 and 11, Arkansas was predicted to be pretty good, like Petrino. I don't know exactly where they were predicted as far as order of finish goes or anything like that. But overall, I'd say that they were pretty, good, and people were expecting them to be good. But in 2021, for instance, when Arkansas went 9-4, they were not picked to finish extremely high that year in the SEC. You think about in 2000 and we're going to go way back in time, 2006, when Arkansas won the SEC title, or the SEC Western Division. That year, Arkansas was picked to finish 6th in the SEC West. 6th. 98, picked to finish 6th. The examples continue to go on where sometimes those years that Arkansas ends up having one of their better years are the years that you least expect it. And for Arkansas, maybe this could be that year. Maybe when everybody's saying that, hey, we don't think Arkansas is going to be that good. That's fine. That's fine if you don't think that. I'm going to be voting. I'm going to put out my votes here in a bit and give them all to you and let you know about what I'm thinking. So I just believe that there's always a chance, there's always a possibility that a team could be good and that Arkansas could be good. And I think that's where my excitement will usually come into place. And maybe it's a bad reason, but I feel like if you're able to be excited about the hope, the possibility, the chance of being really good, that's at least something. It's not perfect. It's not great, but it's something. And so that's where I'm going to go in and try to feel good, walk tall a little bit for all of that too. We'll continue after some discussions here with some of the people here at SEC Media Days. Connor O'Gara of Saturday Down South is going to be joining us and get a chance to catch up with him. But a lot of people coming in about the new memberships. We appreciate it, like Austin becoming a member. Love seeing that. Jeremiah, also a member here, because the members only stream with Curtis and Andrews going on tonight. So 8 o'clock Central Time. You'll be able to check it out. You can only be a member on our YouTube page in order for you to do that. So because Sasha was saying, So I think I'm a member, been subscribed to the YouTube channel since it started. Anything else I need to do? Yes, Sasha. So this is just completely optional. We're not telling people you have to do this. This is just something we're showing appreciation for those that support us by becoming a member. If you're on YouTube, you just subscribe to us. And also there's a button there that says you can become a member. And what it'll do is it'll be I think it's $4.99 a month, and you can have some access to these members only streams that we're going to be doing. We'll have some giveaways and whatnot. So nothing too crazy, but you just go ahead and hit that button that says become a member on our YouTube page. And it's as simple as that. So that's the easiest way to do it and the best way to do it for sure. Hickory Hog says just stay the hell away from the number 8 ranking. Yeah, that seems to be the one that's pretty tough. Every time Arkansas in basketball or in football gets to number 8, it feels like it all comes crashing down pretty quickly. So I hate seeing that. I hate being that way too. But if Arkansas ever gets to the number 8 ranking this season, then I don't care what happens after that. I don't care how hard they fall or whatever. To get to that point means you had to accomplish something great, because Arkansas is not even going to be sniffing really the top 25, much less a top 10 ranking. So if they get to number 8, I'll do that all day long. And like this Jose's like, it's like OnlyFans. Yes, only insiders of Arkansas is what we're going to be calling it. But yeah, it's going to be fun though. We appreciate everybody. Matt also says you got to do it on the PC. The option isn't on the phone app. Yeah, which is strange. I found that out. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's weird. Got to go on a desktop, or I think you can do it on your browser on your phone too. So weird. Yeah, Matt, only hogs. No. Fun fact, real quick, before we hear from Connor O'Gara, to that point, when I was meeting with Curtis and Andrew and we were discussing about the name we wanted to have after our rebrand, my suggestion was only hogs, just for the sake of being fun about it. It obviously didn't pan out, and I just didn't even want to get down that road. But it was something that was thrown out as a suggestion, and I'm obviously glad that we didn't have to deal with that. But man, it would have been pretty funny. Kevin says, are you going to ask Pittman about his overall record, SEC record, one possession game record? All pathetic going into 6 years as head coach. Let me guess, Pittman will cry about a schedule. Well, as far as me asking Pittman, I don't know what I'm going to ask him if I'll even get to ask him a question. The SEC media days is crazy and chaotic, and if there's an opportunity, maybe we can go into that and all of it. But yeah, I think there's going to be people that are asking about his job, about his security, about his tenure, about what he is going to do this upcoming season, saving his job, Yurichek, rev share. He's going to be asked about a lot of things, and if not by national media, by the local media that's around here too. So it's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. So, yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, we're live from SEC football media days, and it's been so much fun to be back here once again after so long of being gone. It feels like just a full, crazy year, a whole year since we've been able to discuss it. But either way, we had a chance to catch up with Connor O'Gara of Saturday Down South, friend of the show, great guy, who is, let's be honest, he's always been a Razorback guy where he believes in Arkansas, he believes in what they can be, but he's also very blunt and very upfront about his thoughts and everything. So it was really great to catch up with him and talk to him about what Arkansas can accomplish this season. So let's go ahead and hear from Connor O'Gara and what he had to say. All right now we're joined by another special guest here live from SEC Media Days, a man that knows all about the SEC, and I'm sure every single second and detail down to the finest minute of details about the Arkansas Razorbacks that we're going to talk about. It's our friend of Saturday Down South, Connor O'Gara. And Connor, it's good to see you again, man. How are things?
Good to see you. You got the memo. We are both rocking Roback today.
That's right.
That is the only way to go, in my opinion. There is a calm before the storm right now. We're doing this before Arch Madness officially begins. I look forward to Arch Madness. I realize that that's been trademarked by the Missouri Valley Conference. I don't care. It's still Arch Madness. And before Texas takes the stage, and that's still a weird thing to process in the SEC that's actually happening. But nonetheless, I love being here. This is my favorite week of the year, every single year. So I come in here with just all sorts of optimism during talking season.
Well, give me some optimism for the Arkansas Razorback football team then, because Razorback fans, I'm going to be honest, and I'm one of them, that have been kind of struggling to find some optimism about this upcoming season. And it's not just because of the team, but the schedule and the setup and the new faces that are around. But when you just look at the Arkansas Razorback football team as a whole, and Sam Pittman entering his 6th year, just if a Razorback fan's like, hey, give me some reasons to be excited, what do you got?
So I had to do, I shouldn't say that had to do. I chose to do a series on the best things about each SEC team. And when I got to Arkansas, I was like, all right, what's going to be the thing that I can sell that makes improvement feel more imminent than it probably is, right? Coordinator continuity with a starting quarterback is ideal. It really is. To have both Travis Williams back on the defensive side of the ball, who I like Travis Williams. I think he's going to get a head coaching job really, really soon. And to have Robert Patrick Petrino back on the offensive side of the ball with one Taylor Green, it makes me feel like, okay, there are at least pieces there that would prevent the bottom from falling out. I don't know that all of a sudden that means November playoff relevance. That's really how teams that are in Arkansas's position should be evaluating this. Do you have November playoff relevance? Last year, Texas A&M had late November playoff relevance because of the fact that they had the game against Texas to be able to get into the SEC championship. There is still going to be this sense that Arkansas has a limited ceiling. And I'm not the first nor the last person to say that. I realize that. But what if Taylor Green is special? What if he's special? What if that relationship with Bobby Petrino, which, let's be honest, year one with Bobby Petrino is probably not always a picnic. It's probably a little bit difficult at times. What if it's that much better? And what if somebody who is a trusted, respected defensive mind in this sport knows what he's doing on that side of the ball, and that makes all the difference? What if you still have probably one of the most difficult schedules in all of college football, and it's going to be extremely challenging to even get to 8-4? But if those things are in place, there's at least a much better floor than what we've talked about in the past. And I know that's not what Arkansas fans care about at this point, but just remember, life can always be worse. So much worse.
Yeah, Razorback fans know what worse looks like.
Yeah.
There's a guy, Chad Morris. I don't know if you heard of him. He was pretty rough. So that's kind of what's unfortunate is like, I was talking with my intern here. She, the student at the U of A, grew up a Razorback fan, but when she started following Razorback football was Brandon Allen and Brett Bielema year. And, when we really got into it, she didn't see the Darren McFaddens, the Ryan Malletts, the Matt Joneses of the world. And I think that's what Razorback fans are really scared of, is ending up in a purgatory type of thing where they've seen it. It's not that they've won championships, but they've seen that they've had teams in years that where the SEC was really good, that they competed for something and that they were talked about and that they were exciting. And they've just been in this 10-year stretch of not always awful, but not great, really. So they're just afraid that they're going to get left behind as the conferences expand and the college football changing and everything. It's just a fear that they have.
Okay, so this is going to be a very personal example, but I'll bring it back full circle to Arkansas. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. I was born in 1990. My childhood, and the reason that I'm doing this job and why I got into sports, is because of the Chicago Bulls. They were a franchise that won 6 championships in my first 8 years on this planet. They set the wheels in motion for me to become a sports fan. And in so many ways, I owe the 90s Bulls to my career and what I'm trying to do. The issue is that ever since MJ, retired for the second time and then eventually went to the Wizards, whatever, and that team broke apart, I have been given no reason outside of Derrick Rose to watch the Chicago Bulls. I am at the stage with my Bulls fandom where I'm looking up going, wait a minute. So if there are people younger than me, I'm 35, there's a really good chance that they don't have those memories growing up. What in the world would prompt them to become a fan of this team? And I live in Orlando, so I've kind of become more of a Magic fan than a Bulls fan. I'm not the biggest NBA person, but you get the point. When things go stale for a prolonged period of time and there is a feeling within an organization of indifference, that's the most dangerous place to be. And the Bulls have had that in spades because they're content just to be 40-42, get to the play-in game, and then be like, all right, well, we sell tickets and people care about this in a way, but you know what? We're not going to do anything to change it one thing or another. And it's a very frustrating place to be. And so I totally get what Arkansas fans are saying by that. I'm not going to be the person that's going to be like, shut up and sit up on your 7-5. That's never going to be, I won't be that person because I understand that angst, and I don't think people understand the pain of what that 2023 home slate truly was and how bad that was. And I felt like I talked about it on your show every other week. But there is going to be some tough conversations to be had if indifference continues into the latter half of the 2020s decade.
And that's, I think, what Razorback fans feel the same, like similar to what you were of, you saw it, you knew it was there, but it's about the confidence that they have, whether it's the administration or ownership in a professional team. Do you feel confident that they're going to be doing whatever it takes to get to that point? And, in NBA or NFL, whatever, you have people who own teams, so you kind of feel almost helpless. You're like, well, they're the owners. At the end of the day, they do it. But it's in college football, you look at an AD or you look at the board of trustees or the big donors and everything. It's a matter of, are they willing to take it to that next level? If it's NIL or if it's rev share or whatever the ever-changing things are they going to do whatever it takes to make Arkansas a great football program, or are they just going to be like, hey, we are who we are, this is as great as we can have it, so let's just roll with it?
It's a difficult thing, man. It really is, because I love Sam Pittman. He's one of my favorite people in college football. I have him on my show every single year and get to have like an in-depth, 30-minute conversation, State of the Union, how is Sam Pittman, on an annual basis, and I look forward to that conversation. I really do. And there are a lot of people that want Sam Pittman to succeed, and there are a lot of people that believe, okay, he can get you to places that other Arkansas coaches have not been able to get you to, most notably one, Chad Morris. But there is still a divide, and there's still no guarantee that you're going to have alignment. Alignment is not something that is cliche in college football. It is real. And if you don't have that full buy-in with a coach that people are convinced can win you national championships, you're only going to go so far. And that's not to say that every coach is worthy of getting the red carpet rolled out to them. Maybe Sam Pittman's not going to be worthy of that. I can't sit here and tell you that he would be able to win championships or compete for championships if he had 5-star rosters galore. I mean, look at Texas in the 2010s.
Yeah.
They had rosters with 5-star talent galore, and I bet there are tons of boosters at Texas being like, man, I wish I didn't spend on that because Charlie Strong wasn't it, Tom Herman wasn't it, Steve Sarkisian is now it. So it's such a challenging thing to figure out, man, because if it were that simple, people that have all of this money at stake, they would have figured it out by now.
Yeah, and it's a frustrating thing if you're Arkansas because you feel like you have money. Hey, John Tyson, the chicken man himself, just brought in John Calipari. You think Cal's coming into a place that doesn't have money and funding to help him out? It's almost like just the right people stepping up and then also having the right person in the position to be able to succeed. And to me, Connor, this year, I know you mentioned it a little bit, but it all hinges on Taylon Green and this offense of Arkansas's success. I think Taylon Green, maybe I'm being biased, I don't think he's getting enough attention, maybe enough respect to be in the conversation of an all-SEC quarterback. Not saying he should be first team voted or even second team has to be, but it just feels like no one's even talking about him, even though he was fifth in passing in the SEC last year. The three of the guys that were in front of him moved on. I know there's a lot of other quarterbacks that are there, but I mean, I feel like he should be in the conversation of a possible all-SEC quarterback, right?
Did he throw a touchdown pass against a team with a winning record?
I'm going to say no because you wouldn't have asked me that question.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
That is.
Because I think he's very unique. I mean, you see the 6'6" long strides, and gosh, when he hurdled or attempted to hurdle that guy in the Auburn game, my heart stopped. I mean, there are very few people that can do the things that he does to extend plays, and a lot of that is really, really good. And you kind of need some of that, especially if you're not going to be a world beater on that offensive line. You can be okay and still want to have a guy like that does those things. But he's got to improve the ball security. He's got to stay healthy. Mm-hmm. Those are two big things. And it probably hurts him that Arkansas closed the Tennessee game with him on the sideline. In a weird way, it kind of hurts him in that regard because it wasn't like he's coming up with these big-time conversions. That was Malachi Singleton, who's now at Purdue, and is a guy that, maybe he's going to have a nice football career, but ultimately you trust a guy like Taylon Green to figure things out, and so much of it's going to depend on what are those weapons around him. Does he feel like everything with this offense is perfectly in sync? That's a question that we're not going to have an answer to until the bullets start flying and those games are actually against real competition.
I want to ask you this to Connor, just a few more for what you get there. Connor O'Gara of Saturday Down South joining us here on the show. Connor, college football, college athletics, it's almost tough to keep up with right now as far as the ever-changing thing. Something that Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, was asked about and was mentioning is it basically, is it dying? Is it losing what it makes college sports and college athletics, college football so special? Do you feel with the direction and the uncertainty of everything, Is there a possibility that it's not going to be ever the same? It's not going to be what we all loved it at once point, and people start losing as much interest in it now than what they had years ago.
If we're having that conversation in September, then I'm more willing to entertain that idea. It's an 8-month off season. It's a lot of time to fill and talk about how this sport is different than what it was. And that's not to say that Saturdays are exactly the same. Lord knows Jefferson Pilot games don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And there's a certain piece of nostalgia that people will always have of being like, oh, that game's on pay-per-view. I got to go to my local sports bar if I want to watch this. I can't just flip on ESPN Plus or whatever this is on. And there is a part of that people are always going to miss. But tell me that's going to be the case during a fall Saturday. Tell me that's the case that the sport doesn't feel as good as it once did, or that the competition isn't there, and that, there's just this lack of interest. I don't think that's the case, and it's honestly why I'm able to do this job year-round. I don't necessarily go all in for baseball in the way that you guys obviously do, and you have such a great following at Arkansas to be able to do that stuff. I don't go all in for college basketball in that sort of way until, the NCAA tournament starts. I go all in for college football. Mm-hmm. And this job and the fan bases that consume our content, they're what allow me to do that. And so maybe that's a sappy way of answering this, but until I see that just fall off a cliff, I'm not willing to go there. Even if I can sit here and tell you, yes, there are things about this sport that we need to figure out. We need to figure out the transfer portal. We need to be able to figure out how this is actually going to be governed with the College Sports Commission, and if they're actually going to come out with punishments, and if they're going to have everybody that's on board, or if this is just the NCAA 2.0. Like, there are things like that we have to figure out in this new revenue sharing era of the sport, and I totally acknowledge that. But if the take is, college football just isn't fun anymore, tell me that in mid-October. All right, tell me that in mid-October that this sport isn't as fun and that you're going to do other things besides watch college football, because I'm just so not wired that way.
Well, Connor, before we let you get out of here, I just got a few quick-hitting questions for you. I want your thoughts on it, and we've been asking everybody about it. When it comes to the Arkansas Razorbacks, who's the first random player that played for Razorback football that you think of? Doesn't have to be Darren McFadden. Who's just a random player?
Jalen Catalon.
Okay, and
at
so
Mizzou,
why?
At Mizzou right now.
That's right. He's still playing, isn't he?
Still playing. What was that, Texas? He was at UNLV.
Yep.
Jalen Catalon, because dudes aren't supposed to hit like that anymore at the safety position, and he is like a 1995 red T-Bird, man. Like the things that red Camaro, the T-Bird's not in the 90s. 1995 red Camaro, the way that he plays the game, and I loved watching Jalen Catalon. I kind of miss watching him in an Arkansas uniform, and it kind of blows me away that his career has gone the way that it has, and just a guy that has some Bob Sanders type elements to it where he just can't quite stay healthy. And it's like, oh yeah, well, that's because he's an extremely violent football player.
Who is the Razorback rival in college football?
I've asked you this question.
I know.
You haven't given me an answer. So I'm going to say just simply hating Texas. That's the only real response. It's not Mizzou. These manufactured rivalries, come on, we need a little bit more juice before we go all in with something like that. You can't sit here and be like, oh, it's LSU, when that hate is there, but it's not prevalent in the way that you would like it to be. Ole Miss Arkansas is like kind of a sneaky fun rivalry. Like those games are entertaining every single year, but it's just hating Texas. It's hating Texas. It always has been. There are different generations who would speak to that. I mean, we're about to have Texas come down here and, in a matter of minutes here. And I guarantee you there will not be a single mention to Arkansas with what Steve Sarkisian says. But if you were to ask any sort of Arkansas fan about Texas, that would be, oh yeah, gosh, I hate them. Can't stand them.
I feel like that's pretty fair. I think that's actually the majority of the answer is what people have given us Texas. So
yeah,
should make Razorback fans happy, and as long as people aren't just saying it's Missouri, then I think that's
it's not.
Yeah,
it's just not, and it's a shame that it has to be Texas right now because Texas is a freaking juggernaut and deserves, in my opinion, to start off the college football season #1 in the country.
Yeah, well, that's what we do at Arkansas. We just love making it so much harder on ourselves to be able to overcome and to have success, but there's no doubt. But it's Connor O'Gara. You can catch all of his content at Saturday Down South, covering all things SEC as well as the Razorbacks. But we always appreciate it, Connor. Good to see you. Good to talk with you, man, and enjoy the rest of Atlanta. All right, man?
Thanks, man.
All right, that was our friend Connor O'Gara of Saturday Down South joining us. Appreciate him coming in and hanging out with us because he has some really good stuff, man. I love his perspective and he's a guy that's been covering for a long time. So, but I did want to bring up this real quick because Sasha did give us a super chat during that interview, but just wanted us, which we appreciate, Sasha. Thank you for becoming a member, and thank you for this. It says, please ask Sankey how we get Missouri's flipping schedule year after year. Trust me, the schedule itself, I'm going to ask him about. I was going to mention basketball, but I probably will in football, and just, be looking at what the future holds for some teams. Like, how much input do coaches have? How much input does programs have, athletic directors have, and what that looks like and how that looks? Or is it simply, hey, we're the SEC, we're going to give you what we're going to give you, and you're just going to have to take it and like it? I would love to know that. So that's something that we're definitely going to get into, and we're going to make happen. We're going to make happen. But we appreciate it, though, Sasha, for that super chat, and appreciate you being a member. Again, members only stream tonight, folks, at 8 o'clock with Curtis and Andrew. It's going to be a lot of fun because I think it's going to be a lot of fun because I'm not going to be there and there's no telling what's going to be talked about. But also want to bring this up from Blind Squirrel Sports. He says, neighbors, hope you asked Sankey how the SEC compares to every other conference in television revenue, and if our league has fallen behind any of them. What is his plans to rectify the situation? Well, I think he talked a little bit about that in his opening statements in discussing them, of how much it's changed and how crazy it's become, and it's almost hard to keep up with at times. But to me, it's about how the revenue. It's not that the SEC falls behind. I think other conferences are starting to catch up. The SEC was so far ahead of the game that it's just taken a long time. It's similar to, and this may sound nerdy, but similar to almost the iPhone. When the iPhone was first announced and came out, and Steve Jobs and Apple, it blew everyone's pants off that they had no idea what they were even thinking about and having, and it just killed. It absolutely killed everybody else. There was just nothing that any other phone could come close. But then years gave in, time after time after time. Suddenly people started putting some things together. And then, iPhone's probably still the best, but people caught up a little bit. That's how I feel about with the SEC. They were so far ahead of the game and so forward thinking, and they dominated for so long. At some point in time, the other conferences are going to start, trying to move forward and trying to get to that point. And it's not that the SEC has fallen short. It's just kind of the way it is. So, appreciate the comments and appreciate everybody tuning in. And for those of you who missed any of these interviews, we're going to have them posted separately on our Inside Arkansas YouTube page. So be sure to check that out. We're going to have Alyssa Lang of the SEC Network joining us. Good friend of mine, and she is one of the best in the businesses when it comes to all things sports and broadcasting. So really looking forward to catching up with her here in just a little bit. But want to remind everybody that here on Inside Arkansas, we are presented by our friends over at the Freedom Boat Club of Arkansas. Because right now, boats. You want to be on a boat? You want to be on the lake? It's hot outside. That's the place to be. But you don't want to deal with the hassle. You don't want to deal with all the craziness that goes along with it. You just want to enjoy the boat. You want to be able to pick it up, go out on the lake, come back in, and not have to worry about anything else. And that's what Freedom Boat Club of Arkansas does for you. They give you access to boats without the commitment. And they got 3 locations in the state of Arkansas, as well as across the entire country. But specifically here in Arkansas, where if you're feeling Grease Ferry Lake Hamilton down there in Hot Springs, or even on the river in Little Rock, Freedom Boat Club of Arkansas will help make your summer in the natural state the best one yet. So you can check out their website at freedomboatclubar.com today and to learn more. And it's freedomboatclubar.com. You can follow them on social media at Freedom Boat Club Arkansas as well. It's Freedom Boat Club of Arkansas. All right, so we had a chance to catch up with Alyssa Lang of the SEC Network and what she thinks about the Razorbacks and what she thinks about the upcoming season with Sam Pittman, and also apparently what she thinks about my makeup routine, as everybody knows, is a thing of controversy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hear from our friend Alyssa Lang. Face.
Are you wearing makeup?
Got it all on. Caked. I'm caked up over here on that. All right, we're live from SEC Media Days here in Atlanta, Georgia at the College Football Hall of Fame. We have a very special guest joining us of the SEC Network and ESPN. It is our friend Alyssa Lang. And Alyssa, it's always good to catch up with you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous because we're about to start a new season. We've been talking a lot about Arkansas football 2025. I am getting nervous that you're going to ban me from Arkansas games at some point because my track record on the sidelines of Arkansas games It's not been so good lately. I'm hoping that'll improve in 2025, but I'm a little afraid that that's how this interview might end today.
We have you on a list. I'm not going to say what list it is, but you're on a list
Basketball,
somewhere.
good.
Yes. Basketball, you're welcome to hang out at Bud Walton Arena anytime you want, because it's always going to be an overtime game and a court rushing.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Pretty much a guarantee.
Every time. But with Razorback football, you mentioned it. It's last year go 6-6, 7-6 with the bowl win. This year, you lost a lot of players from the last season. There's a lot of new faces. It's Pittman's 6th year, which is amazing to think that he's been here 6 years. But Razorback fans just really don't know what to think right now. What do you think about Razorback football?
I think it's fair that they don't know what to think, right? When you're going through your preparation for all of these teams with having so many new pieces and the transfer portal being so prevalent, it's hard to get a good beat on what you think the ceiling for a team could be. Certainly a team that has struggled over the past few years like Arkansas. You won't find a bigger Sam Pittman fan than me. So I have that trust that he has continued to hit the portal, hit the recruiting trail, add what Arkansas needs. I think that's evident from what we saw last year with him bringing in Bobby Petrino. And I'm not sure that fans outside of the state of Arkansas really respect what that took from Sam Pittman to bring in somebody like a Bobby Petrino, who you know what the conversation was going to be as soon as he set foot on campus. What I know I'm excited most about this year for Arkansas is the evolution of Taylon Green. I think he's an under-talked about quarterback as far as the measurables. He's got the get-off-the-bus look that you want from a starting SEC quarterback. It was up and down last year, but it was also his first year in the SEC at Arkansas with a new offensive coordinator and a brand-new team. That first year under his belt could be pivotal for Arkansas going into year 2, and I do think that added comfortability between him, Bobby, and Sam could be massive for Arkansas, taking a very much-needed step forward.
Well, Taylon Green, I think, is where it all starts, and it's almost a rarity nowadays to have a quarterback that's at the same school for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
It seems like it's such a rare thing, but I've brought this up with a lot of people. I love his game. I love what he's able to do. Hopefully he takes that next step. We'll see what's surrounding him, but I just don't think he's getting a whole lot of maybe talk about being an all-SEC caliber quarterback. Not to say he should be first team, but I feel like maybe people undervalue Taylon Green, and because he's at Arkansas, because there's uncertainty, because Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, all these other great ones, I feel like he maybe doesn't get the love he deserves.
I would absolutely agree with that, and I think it's part of it is playing in the SEC, right? And look at the quarterbacks that we have in 2025, even the young guys, the DJ Lagways, the Lenora Sellers, Garrett Nussmeier will probably be in the Heisman conversation, right? Even Diego Pavia and what he's doing at Vanderbilt, he gets talked about more than Taylon Green does at Arkansas. And I think it is just the nature of where Arkansas is right now. Still in that mode of trying to get over the hump and create some consistency. And I think that's the most important thing for Arkansas moving forward is that consistency. That Tennessee win last year was massive for the locker room, for the program to feel that sense of, okay, we got to win over what was an eventual college football playoff team. That should catapult us from a momentum standpoint, and in a way it did. Like you said, you make the postseason, you get a bowl win. There are SEC programs that had high expectations last year that did not go to bowl games. So for Taylon to kind of be this under-the-radar quarterback for Arkansas, I almost feel like is a good thing for the 2025 Razorbacks. Be underlooked, be the underdog, if you will, and there's always a team, certainly in this league, that takes us by surprise. Maybe in 2025 it's Arkansas because of that extra step that Taylon and this offense can take.
Well, one of the things that they're going to have to do is, of course, play games on the schedule, and the schedule sucks.
It's hard.
It's
the second toughest in the country?
Tale as old as time, right? Yeah. It's another run-of-the-mill schedule. They have to go on the road to LSU, to Ole Miss, to Texas, to Tennessee. Yeah. No big deal. And then also at Notre Dame at home. They play them. Yeah. That's the thing I feel like I have to maybe not argue for, but with Pittman and people who are frustrated or maybe like that, if they had a schedule like a Missouri or somebody else, it'd be a totally different ballgame. But you're talking about playing potentially 4 to 5 different playoff contenders. I don't know how the schedule works. I don't know how they make it up, but that to me is going to be the detriment to this team right now.
There are definitely more manageable schedules from other teams in the SEC than what Arkansas has. And I would make the same argument as you. Not all coaching performances, not all schedules, not all seasons can be measured the same, right? I mean, we talk about it with Brian Kelly and LSU and being 0-3 in season openers. Look at who those season openers have been against. Florida State, Southern Cal, teams that have high expectations and are not cupcakes in week one, right? So the conversation even about Brian Kelly, oh my gosh, will he be able to win an opener? Well, when you're playing Power 4 opponents that have their sights set on college football playoff at the end of the season, it's going to be tougher. When you have the schedule that Arkansas has this season, it's going to be tougher. It's going to be a grind on you mentally, physically, emotionally. By the time you get to the season, end of the season, health will be something that you're talking about. So for those teams like Arkansas, Florida, who have these just brutal schedules, health is wealth, truly, in 2025. But I agree with you. I think that's something that does have to be taken into account when you look at what Sam Pittman's been up against. And it's not like this is the first year that they've had tough schedules, right? Like
Yes.
this is like you said, tale as old as time. So I do think that's something. I understand fans want to win, and there's a reason why the passion exists in Fayetteville is because they're used to having that blue-collar winning program. But it is harder for Arkansas than it will be for other programs this year.
I've asked everybody this. It's also a question I feel like I answer all the time, but I want your answer from it.
Yeah.
Who's Arkansas's rival in college football?
Such a good question. I did the Arkansas-Missouri game last year, and there's not a lot of love lost between those two opponents, right? So
I'm good friends with Eli, though. He really
Are you?
likes. No, he hates me.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, well, shout out to you, whatever you did to him. I would. My gut goes Arkansas, or goes Missouri, Arkansas. Maybe I'm way off on that. But that's kind of the beauty, in my opinion, now of where we are with college football. Someone asked me the same exact question about my alma mater yesterday. Who's South Carolina's biggest SEC rival outside of, obviously, Clemson is the in-state rival, but who in the SEC? And I said, maybe Tennessee, maybe Kentucky at this point with how games have gone over the past few years. I mean, Texas will always be up there. Right? I don't know. What are the answers you got?
It just depends on the day. Sometimes it's Texas, sometimes it's LSU, sometimes it's.
Is Missouri in the conversation?
No,
okay.
not usually.
All right.
Not usually. I don't think it's because they just don't want them to be more so than anything. But that's a
yeah.
big part of it. But also, this is just a random one that I always like getting people's opinions on too. The first Razorback football player that comes to mind that's just a random player, not just a Darren McFadden, but just somebody that when you first think
Darren
of it,
McFadden
just for whatever reason. I had a Jalen Catalon reference the other day.
Jalen Catalon back in the league.
Yeah, I can't believe he's still playing.
I couldn't either. I thought someone was joking around when
I
they
thought
said
I
that.
was on the 7.5 year plan in college.
Grant Morgan, Bumper Pool.
There you go.
I mean, I feel like I know that's two players, but they come to mind just as a tandem.
Yep, that's true because they played together for 5 years.
I
together,
know
so,
it feels like they were just the mascot of Arkansas defense for so long that if I can't pick McFadden, probably those two.
Works for me.
Okay,
I needed random ones, and those are random ones. That's all I needed. So it's Alyssa Lang of the SEC Network and ESPN. Appreciate you as always. Good seeing you as always, and we look forward to having you in Fayetteville for wins this time.
That's right.
Instead of those losses. But
Thanks
we
for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
All right, that was our friend Alyssa Lang joining us of the SEC Network here on Inside Arkansas Live. We're about to wrap up here. We'll get to the final chats and then close up shop. And remember the members-only live stream tonight with Curtis and Andrew. Be sure to subscribe and be sure to be a member, as there's going to be some cool giveaways and everything going on there tonight. But reminder to everybody that we are presented by our friends over at BetSaracen. It's the #1 sports betting app in the state of Arkansas. Not even close. There's no other app that you need to download. There's no other website that you even need to go to. It is all about BetSaracen. You can download the app on your iPhone or on your Android. You can go to BetSaracen.com. They have future bets. If you're feeling like Arkansas is going to have a great year, go ahead and go and betting on those wins and losses and those over-unders. No matter what it is, do it with BetSaracen, the #1 sports betting app in the state of Arkansas, as they are one of our presenting sponsors here at SEC Football Media Days. Just a few chats, and then we'll close it down here. Unbiased Brim says the Hogs are their own rival. If we can get back to consistently good, then we can make Texas a rivalry again, beat them, and the Longhorn fans will dislike us. Well, got to beat them at least a few times. Maybe this will be the year, but man, wouldn't that be something to ruin their season at the end of the year when it's all said and done. Let's see. Smitty says Sam Pittman played 24 games that ended with a margin of 8 points or fewer, going 6-18 in those tight contests. Yeah, that's a tough thing, man. You know, close games, close losses like that are going to happen. But if you have a vast majority of those one-possession games, or as you're saying, a margin of 8 points or fewer, and you're 6-18, and was that 33%? Yeah, that's that type of stuff's not going to get you into the Hall of Fame. So great point there. MB just says, just woke up. What I missed today? Well, just watch all of our content on Inside Arkansas, and we'll catch you up. What you thought at the Palace or any of our great interviews with some of the people here at SEC Football Media Days. We have it all right here, so you don't have to worry about anything else. It's all right here. So let's see. Also, Earweevil. Hopefully that's there. He says, crunch some numbers on quarterback improvements from year 1 to year 2 under Petrino since 2004. Completion percentage rises from 58.97% to 63.83%. Passing yards rise up from 2.5K to 3.1K. Touchdowns leap up from 14.8 to 23.2. I mean, those are great numbers, and that's why, like Connor O'Gara said and Peter Burns said, and even Alyssa Lang alluded to, of why it's going to be great with Arkansas and why it should be great with Arkansas, given the circumstances of the fact that they have a quarterback in Taylor Green, a Petrino offense going into year 2. The numbers speaks for themselves. History speaks for themselves. We just hope that history repeats itself and showing those improvements there as well. But hey, appreciate each and every one of you listening and watching in Inside Arkansas Live. Thank you so much. I know it's been chaotic, and we appreciate everyone's patience. Tomorrow, Sam Pittman and the Razorbacks take stage here at SEC Media Days at the College Football Hall of Fame. And it's going to be a little bit different, but Arkansas is going to go at noon. Sam Pittman's in the big room at noon. So we may end up pushing back Inside Arkansas Live to start right after that. But also, too, we're probably going to play it live. We're allowed to play it live here at Inside Arkansas Live and on stream. So we may do the audio version of that. Here, you can hear it. You can watch into the stream, hear from Sam Pittman. And as soon as Sam Pittman ends, and we'll give our reactions to that as well. But either way, we'll keep you updated on all the things that we're going to be doing here with Inside Arkansas. So be sure to subscribe to us. Don't forget about the members only on YouTube. If you want to be a member, very simple to do. See Cody. Shout out to Cody. He just became a member here. Appreciate you, man. Be a member here at Inside Arkansas on the YouTube page. You'll get to be a part of that members-only stream tonight where there'll be some cool giveaways with Curtis and Andrew taking part of it. You can also subscribe to us here at Inside Arkansas. Check out our website at InsideArkansas.com. You can also, of course, check out all of our social medias at Inside Arkansas as well. So that'll do it for us. For Andrew Ellis as well as Curtis Wilkerson, I'm John Neighbor. Same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow afternoon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see you then.